Good morning, students. Today we will discuss some of the questions related to the topic the search for genetic material and replication process. Now, first question is answer the question based on the dinucleotide shown below. Here you have to answer that the type of the sugar guanine base is attached to. So here you can see this is the guanine base, and you have to name the type of the sugar. Either it can be ribose sugar or it can be deoxyribose sugar. So if here you can see that it is written U, that means uracil. So this sugar is ribose sugar. Now name the linkage connecting the two nucleotide. So what is the linkage that connects the two nucleotide? So there is a phosphodiester linkage which connects the two adjacent nucleotide. Next, identify the 3' end of the dinucleotide and give a reason for your answer. Okay, so you have to identify the 3' end of the dinucleotide. So 3' end means it must have a free 3' OH group. So in this figure, just you see that here, okay, the nucleotide which has nitrogenous base as uracil and the ribose sugar, so it has the free 3' OH. So this one will be the 3' end of the nucleotide. Okay, that means the uracil which is attached to the ribose sugar. Okay, it has a 3' OH group. Now, next question is, why does DNA replication occur in small replication fork and not in its entire length? Okay. Next is, why is DNA replication continuous and discontinuous in a replication fork? And explain the importance of origin of replication in a replication fork. So, this is of 3 marks. So, first question, how will you do? It is written that why does replication occur in small replication fork and not in its entire length? So why? Because DNA molecule is very long, so two strands cannot be separated in its entire length, and as it requires very high energy also, so the replication occurs within a small opening of the helix, that is called a replication fork. Now next question is, why is DNA replication continuous and discontinuous in a replication fork? Okay, so the DNA dependent DNA polymerase, okay, catalyze polymerization only in one direction, that is 5' to 3'. Okay, and this creates some additional complication at the replicating fork, so resulting on one strand which has the polarity 3' to 5', the replication is continuous, while on the other, that is the template with polarity 5' to 3', it is discontinuous. Okay, now next is, explain the importance of origin of replication in a replication fork. So replication of DNA does not initiate randomly. We have already learned about replication process. And DNA polymerase on their own, they cannot initiate replication. So there is a definite region where replication originates, and it is termed as a origin of replication. Okay, now next is, write the conclusion drawn by Griffith at the end of the experiment with Streptococcus pneumoniae. And the second part of the question is, how did Avery, McLeod and McCarthy prove that DNA was the genetic material? And here it is written, explain. Now if this type of question comes, write the conclusion drawn by Griffith at the end of the experiment. Please, this is of 5 marks, both these. Okay, don't just write the conclusion. Okay, what you can do, give a flow chart. Okay, like the flow chart it is given in your NCERT book on page number 100, where it is written transforming principle. Here there it is written Okay, S strain then injected into mice, then mice die. R strain inject into mice, then mice live. That you can write it in this answer, and then at last you can write down the conclusion. Okay, after that always make a flow chart and then write down the conclusion if this type of question comes. Okay, don't write in a paragraph the whole experiment. Okay, so conclusion what you will write. So according to him, R strain bacteria had somehow been transformed by the heat killed S strain bacteria, and this may be due to some transforming principle. Okay, so he concluded that R strain bacteria had somehow been transformed by the heat killed S strain bacteria, and some transforming principle transferred from the heat killed S strain had enabled the R strain to synthesize a smooth polysaccharide coat and become virulent. Okay, and this must be due to the transfer of the genetic material. Okay, now next is, how did Avery, McLeod and McCarthy prove that DNA was the genetic material? Now here it has written, you have to uh, explain it. So either you explain it in points. Okay, that means biochemical nature of transforming principle of Griffith's experiment. Okay, so first you will write that Avery, McLeod and McCarthy worked to determine the biochemical nature of the transforming principle. Okay, they purified the biochemicals from the heat killed cells to see which one can transform live R cells into S cell, and then they discovered that DNA alone from S bacteria could cause R bacteria to become transformed. Okay, then they discovered that protein digesting enzyme or protease and RNAs did not affect transformation, whereas digestion with DNAs did inhibit transformation, and it suggested that DNA causes the transformation. Thus, they finally concluded that DNA is the genetic material. Now, this you can write it in words format also, or you can make a explanatory chart also, and then at the last you can write down the conclusion. Okay, now next is, describe Frederick Griffith's experiment on Streptococcus pneumoniae and discuss the conclusion he arrived at. Now here you have to describe the experiment. Okay, it is of 5 marks, so at least 10 points should be there. So starting from the two strains of the bacterium Streptococcus pneumoniae, one forming smooth colonies, then the other R type, that is forming the rough colonies, are taken for the experiment. S type cells are virulent and R types are non-virulent. In this way you can write down the experiment, and at the last you will write that they concluded that the R strain bacteria has been somehow been transformed by the heat killed S strain bacteria. Okay, and some transforming principle transferred from the heat killed S strain that had enabled the R strain to synthesize a smooth polysaccharide coat and become virulent. Okay, now again it is written, write the scientific name of the bacterium used by the Frederick Griffith in his experiment. So in his experiment he used the Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay, how did he prove that some transforming principle is responsible for transformation of non-virulent strains of bacteria into the virulent form? So here again you have to describe it. Okay, this is of 5 marks, all 1 2, this all is of 5 marks. Okay, now state the biochemical nature of the transforming principle. Okay, so what is the biochemical nature of the transforming principle? That you have to write down that Avery, McLeod and McCarthy uh, then worked, and they first it was thought that the genetic material was protein, and then they worked to determine the biochemical nature of the transforming principle in Griffith's experiment. Okay, then again you will in short you will describe the biochemical nature. Okay, now next, name the scientist who proved it? So you can write it that Avery, McLeod and McCarty proved it. Okay. Now next is the select the correct match of enzyme with its related function. Okay. First one is DNA polymerase. Here you can see. Okay. Synthesis of DNA strand, and then it is written helicase, unwinding of DNA helix, and then ligase joins together short segment. So here you have to select the correct match. Okay, so we know that all these are correct. How? That DNA polymerase synthesizes DNA strand, helicase help in unwinding of DNA helix, and ligase joins together short DNA segments. So here all are correct. So answer will be D. Next is other than DNA polymerase, which are the enzyme involved in DNA synthesis? Okay, so we know that process of DNA synthesis whereby a parent DNA molecule is when copied, it give rise to two identical daughter molecules. Okay, and then in DNA synthesis, DNA polymerase plays an important role. Okay, which has the capacity to elongate an existing DNA. Okay, but it cannot initiate the synthesis. So the synthesis is initiated with the help of a primer, okay, which is formed by the RNA primase. Okay, so this one is involved. Next is helicase. So helicase unzips the two strands of DNA, and next is topoisomerase. So topoisomerase reduces the coding tension developed due to the unwinding of the two strands. Okay, now here, which of the following figure correctly represent the replication fork formed during DNA replication? Okay, now all the four is given. So first you have to know that the synthesis of DNA by DNA polymerase occurs only in 5' to 3' direction. So one strand is called leading strand, okay, and is copied in the same direction as the unwinding helix. Okay, so this one is not correct. Okay, so it is, the arrow is this side, that is it should be from 5' to 3'. Okay, and then here also you can see. Next is the other strand. Okay, other strand is known as the lagging strand, and the replication in the lagging strand is in discontinuous way, synthesizing short segment of DNA which are always in 5' to 3' direction, and these short segments are called Okazaki. So this will be the D is the answer, because here we can see the direction, overall direction of the replication. Okay. Now next is, which of the following pair is incorrectly match? Purine, adenine and guanine, pyrimidine, cytosine and uracil, and nucleoside is adenosine and thymidine, and then DNA is basic biomolecule. We know that purine is adenine and guanine, pyrimidine is cytosine and uracil, nucleosides are adenosine and thymidine, but DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid is an acidic biomolecule. Okay, so this is the incorrectly matched one, that is the answer will be D. Now given figure represent the DNA double helix model as proposed by Watson and Crick. So select the option that shows correct measurement of A, B and C. Okay, so in this way you have to find out which is the correct measurement. Okay, now here you can see this is 34 nanometer, this is 3.4 nanometer, this is 3.4 Armstrong, and this is 34 Armstrong. Though 34 Armstrong and 3.4 nanometer, okay, is correct. Next we will see the B1, that is the distance between the adjacent stack. It should be 0.34 nanometer or 3.4 Armstrong. So 0.34 nanometer or 3. Armstrong, again it is correct. Then this is the diameter, so it should be 2 nanometer or 20 Armstrong. So here it is 20, here it is only 2 Armstrong. So the correct answer is A. So in this way question can come in your exam. Please write down the answer according to the marks given, and always write your answer in points. So that's all for today. Next we will start with the transcription. Okay, thank you.